this set up correctly, this entire block can be controlled by a single post in here. Is that one connected to anything? No. Also, I'm in radar mode. Back that one up. I need red wire and green wire being transmitted. Can I reach green wire from over here? I can, in fact. And because of that, I know that I can reach red wire from there. There we go. That is so much neater. Ah, but of course, there was something left. Why am I even surprised? I could have the radar back here, but then I'd need to turn the whole thing around. But that is the best place to put it, without doubt. The only thing on the red wire actually this green wire would, well, no, I kind of want to send the red wire specifically. I also really don't want to send any other signals onto this that I don't need. Right, so that tells me how many chests. That tells me the cargo wagons. That tells me the type of thing that we're dealing with here. Have I actually set this up so that it, yeah, check stack size. That calculates all of these things. Yep, that all works out. Just double checking my logic here. Yeah, I'm very specifically dealing with this. So I could have one more combinator that just strips out the signal and only passes the correct one on. Yeah, why not? Why not? For the sake of oh, damn it, I keep doing that. For the sake of cleanliness, take, where is it? Iron ore, multiply it by 1 or add 0 is fine. And then output iron. So at this point, the only thing here, and actually at that stage, I don't even need the red wire. That will be a bit of a mess, but what have you. Get rid of that. And then this. Actually, I could put the radar right here as a consequence. But it has to be on the red network, because that's the network I check. But there we go. That's sending out saying, hey, we want 1 iron that is being requested, or rather iron has a request. And the priority of the station is being set. Yep, all of that seems solid. Okay, so now we get to my intended solution. I just wanted to sort out the actual the train stop itself, and I'm happy with this now. The only other thing, actually, thinking about it, because right now this is kind of top heavy. I could instead move this down here. You know what? I really like that. Really like that. I think that's going to look a hell of a lot better. Branch out across. And then red wire goes out. Oh, that looks so much better. That's going to be much nicer to blueprint. Way nicer to blueprint. One thing I would like to check, though. Could this... Oh. Well, now. That changes things a little bit. It changes things. I'm going to make these a little bit cleaner. Can I get down there? Yeah, I think we can make this a lot cleaner. Also, I want some lights. Can I get a bunch of lights? Also, I want some of this making lights. What is required to make lights? That is an annoyingly significant amount of things. Copper wire, electronic circuits, and actually... Huh. Huh. So, chat, I know it's sacrilegious to mess with the perfect system that is the copper wire production. But it has everything I need in one place. So... I am totally gonna mess with it. There we go. And I would like all of these gubbins. Mind you, I'm going to have to bring over a little bit more power. Available to a... provider chest. A provider chest is just going to be limited to that. Do these... No, they don't change like the light range or anything. But that'll be good enough. And from that point on, I want to personally request lights. Right, but with that done, I'm going to say that the middle of each of these belts should be well lit from now on. Beautiful. All train stations will, from henceforth, be well lit. See, I can do anything from this point. I know that these aren't going to be unloaded until these are finished unloading, but I don't care about that. I only want a four-way balancer ultimately. So we get rid of that, just for the sake of having this be a functional system. Let's go ahead and do that. No, let's go into map mode. It's going to be easier. Okay, I think that is much nicer to look at. Also, I'm just all fingers and thumbs right now. Okay. Right, there we are. But I think that is just a nicer station. It's compact. I only need this part now as the blueprint. Yeah, I like it. Hi, one of the rare times I actually catch you live. One small tip I learned recently and I wanted to share. If you use Shift plus X to move a combinator, the wires stay attached. Oh, right. Okay, thank you so much for that, Kanyan. Kanyana, rather. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. That is really, really nice. Thank you. New tip. Falgora briefing. Uh-oh. Planet Falgora is a dry, barren planet with no signs of life and dangerous lightning activity in the frequent night cycles. Entity solar panel is much less effective. However, lightning can be collected with Entity lightning rod and stored in the accumulators. There are no natural resources found anywhere on the planet. Oh, the only thing available are leftovers in the form of scrap. What might have been oceans is now heavy oil that can be extracted by offshore pumps. Ocean isn't landfillable until much later, but it can be crossed by elevated rails. Building... Oh, okay. That kind of sounds cool. Like, forgotten route. I like it. I like it a lot. That actually sounds pretty interesting. No lie. Our logistics network is so utterly overloaded now as a consequence of this. Just the way it's going to be. We'll continue loading as much as we can onto this. And filling all of that up. But okay, so this is now getting the settings we want. There's one train requested. It's priority 11. I like this as a station. So I'm going to blueprint it. I'm going to start from here. We're going to grab everything along this line all the way to here. Oh, I need one more thing. No, I want to make sure we also grab the signal. Tunk. There we go. Right, create blueprint, and now I'm going to sort it out in my inventory, because I've got a blueprint in here for that station, don't I? Cargo pickup, cargo drop-off. Right, so... I'll notice the difference because of the presence of the radar. So, but I do ultimately want to copy this over. So, what did I use? Station... request address and the type of cargo it'll be, which is a solid cargo. Okay. All right. Oh, wait. One thing I forgot to do, and I forgot this last time too. I don't believe I saved the station name. And that is important. Right. Copy. Train stop names. Parameterize it as well. So we want this. We want... requester, and we want cargo. There we are. Now, what I could do is I could change the steel chest. I could parameterize things like how many chests are at the station, all that sort of stuff, but there's no point, I don't think, with this particular thing. I'll make a different station for any trains that are of a different size, because that's going to be very important. And then 8x. So let me know that there will be 8 cargo wagons. Because there may be a drop-off. For example, a bullet train is not going to need the same amount. And I want to parameterize it. I want this parameter in particular to be used. Parameter 0. It's used in all of these combinators. And also in the station name. Yep, that's fine. And there we go. This can now go into the blueprint book. The jobs are good un. Doesn't need to unload evenly. It's got plenty of stuff it can unload. That should be fine. As you can see, we're already unloading everything at the bottom, and then we'll unload the stuff at the top. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. T minus 20 minutes to tea break. Very well. Put an 8 in the icon. Station request 8 cargo wagon. Okay, can I do that? Maybe I can, actually. Oh, right, yeah. I guess I would be able to. Yeah, quite right. Okay. You know what? Sure, we'll do that. So, I've still got to get used to thinking of this. 8 wagon. And then I guess a requester. In fact, I could just have the whole thing shown as, so train station, it's a train stop. It is for cargo. Oh, so it's a request, a train stop for 8. Or I could put the wagon there. I mean, I've already got that, though. I can already see it clearly enough. No, I think the text title is fine. But I do like the idea of using the 8. Because that'll be very, very clear. There we go. Save that blueprint. Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. That works for me. That works quite nicely for me. I do appreciate. Thank you for the tip there. Okay, so that's the drop-off station. Now we need to change the pickup station. This is where the next bit of magic is going to happen. However, I do need to double check biter bases. Is pollution being consumed in an odd pattern anywhere? No, oddly. Huh. Okay. Happy with that. Happy. So, let's move forward. Now, this is going to be where, up to now, the pickup station isn't really broadcasting anything. Because what we've got happening right now is request the stations issue a request. The dispatcher listens to the request and then cycles through all of the things that are being requested. So as you can see, this is cycling through them. That request is then passed along. And then if it's a fluid one, it gets sent to the fluid wagon dispatchers. And if it is a, if it isn't, then it gets sent down here. Right now I'm isolating it, but what I could do is peel off any that aren't fluids, because there's going to be less fluids. But right now it's quite explicit in what is being sent where. Now, I guess one of the ways I could do this, actually, I could just make it so that all cargo stations have cargo in the name. Because then all of the cargo trains could just look for stations with cargo. Then I wouldn't even need to filter this. Like, that filtering wouldn't be necessary, because a cargo train will never look for a station. Because when it comes to cargo pickup, it would only be looking for stations which have a cargo wagon, not a liquid wagon. Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a hell of a lot of sense to me. Now, this is going to break the system a little bit, so let's put a pin in that one. Let's put a pin in that. I'm going to add a little tag down here so that when I go to tick this off, I have to also tick one last thing. Change station names to cargo or fluid. I was waiting for you to notice that you'd left it in here. Sheila just snuck in to find her phone. There we go. That one can be there. Dunk. That works. Maybe move it back a little bit. I can ever select it again. There we go. There we are. Right, that will work. I won't do it now, because if I do it now, I break the system. Especially because these are still going to be filtering. So when I change the dispatcher, that's when I change all the signal names. All right, so let's make our way up to the new station. Though there is a big part of me that's thinking I should probably set up copper first before I worry about that. But I'm going to be setting up another station, so it kind of makes sense to make sure that that station is going to be working the correct way. So, yeah. Let's make sure the station is going to be working the right way. Right, so the way that I have decided that we're going to be doing using the signals over here is dispatcher is still going to be responsible for sending trains out. I'm probably going to reduce the amount of platforms to a single platform for each type of train. But then I'm going to drastically increase the stacker size. And I'm going to have distinct stackers for fluid trains, distinct stackers for cargo trains. That's the plan right now. I could change that up, though. But the overall plan will be that right now I'm broadcasting that I require iron. And I was thinking about all sorts of ways if I could have like a memory cell at the dispatcher that would record requests as they came in. So instead of just broadcasting it would pulse it one tick, and then that would be picked up by the dispatcher, saved in the memory cell, and then when it dispatched a train, it would take it out of the memory cell. But then I started thinking, and I'm not sure if this has been in for a long time or not, but there is train count. This will read the number of trains going to this particular train stop, and it includes trains at the stop. Now, I'm not particularly talking about this stop. I don't care how many trains are on the way to this one. It should only ever be one. But at the loading station, I can read how many trains have been dispatched. And I'll know that as soon as they've reserved the slot on that train track and they're coming over. Even if I had like a stacker and multiple trains could be waiting at this one stop, I would still know how many trains had been sent. We are going to read that number because the issue for the dispatcher, just to I realize that there's a lot going on here, but our system is a push-pull system, but it favors the push. So a train will wait here until somewhere wants something and somewhere has that thing to be picked up. It doesn't launch a train if one of the pushing stations is just trying to get rid of iron onto the network. It doesn't care. It needs to know that someone wants that iron first. Also, I should really hook this up, shouldn't I? I'm not sure why I hadn't already done that. Let's just connect that to the network so that power is actually going to be useful. So when a train sees that, hey, somewhere is requesting something and somewhere is providing that thing, it will queue up a job to go collect that thing with a view to then delivering it. But the issue here is that it'll only reserve the spot in the pushing station, the place that's providing that item. Now, that's fine if you've only ever got one place that provides any one item, but that isn't very scalable. Eventually, we'll have dozens of iron mines, all needing to be serviced at a time, but we will probably not have nearly as many places that need iron ore. We might only have like 2 or 3. In that instance, if a station is requesting, like let's say right now we had 2 iron mines and we've got 1 iron request there. It wants iron and both of the iron mines have iron to give. A train down here will be like, right, I see that there is a job to that needs iron and I can go and collect it. I'm going to do that. Reserves a slot in station number 1. Train number 2 sees that, hey, somewhere wants iron and I can collect it. It can collect from station number 2. So it's going to go there. Now I've got 2 trains trying to load iron for a 1 train's request of iron. We need a way to take the job back off the board once a train is working on it, even though the train won't reserve this station. And the way that I am thinking of doing that is by reading how many trains are heading to stations that provide iron and subtracting that number from the broadcast total. So basically, this iron is being broadcast on the radar network. I'm going to have the requesting station broadcast a negative, the inverse of how many trains are being sent. So if one train is on its way to collect iron or is there collecting it, it's going to be broadcasting -1 iron. Those signals will combine in the radar network on that tick. So 1 iron plus -1 iron means no iron. So down here, even though there is iron station number 2 has iron and technically the drop-off station is still technically requesting iron, as far as the train is concerned, no iron is being requested because they've been cancelled out. That is the way that I am going to be solving this problem. And because of the way I've got my dispatching, there is a small chance that a train will still end up with a cargo of something that needs to be dropped off. Because I don't quite understand how the dispatching works. The interrupt work. I don't know if it's inserted after the next stop or before the next stop, so on and so forth. But trains can, like right now I've got an interrupt that is allowed to interrupt an interrupt. So this has priority over other jobs. It'll insert itself as soon as it can, as soon as it needs to. And I'm fine with that. If a train is running low on fuel, it should go and get more fuel as a priority, because it would be a lot worse if it runs out of fuel on the tracks. So the problem with that is that in between a train leaving a pickup station and on the way to a drop-off station, I don't know how this interrupt gets added in, whether it would interrupt after drop-off or whether it would just be immediately halfway down this track, be like, oh, I need fuel, okay, changing plans, and it would go down here to collect fuel. Even if that's the case, I'm okay with it. But it does introduce a slight wrinkle, because suddenly there's no train that is being requested over here, and this station hasn't got a reserved slot, so that job becomes viable again, and another train might pick it up. Which, once that's happened, one train is going to end up with more cargo than it should. But I'm okay with that generally. And that's because I don't make my drop-off and pickup stations atomic. I don't add the job to immediately go to the drop-off station when I add the job to pick it up. I let that be added after the fact. It's got a separate interrupt to try and get rid of cargo that it's got. And it's as simple as, do I have cargo? If I do, is somewhere requesting that cargo? If so, let's go there. And because this is independent of a circuit condition at the dispatch, in my head, I think that will mean that the drop-off will effectively have a higher priority. It'll be fast, it'll be more responsive. A train that has a cargo of anything is going to be able to choose to pick up a job faster than a train that's got to wait on the dispatcher to tell it it's allowed to take the job. And so over a period of time, any wrinkles like that should work themselves out of the system. Anti-iron, careful of explosions. God damn it. Whenever I play Factorio, everything goes horribly wrong, but I think it's because whenever Aavak plays, it says Aavak on the map, but when I play it, it just says Altria. Sure, we'll go with that, Altrius. Are you playing Space Age at the moment? Interrupts are only checked when a train leaves the station. The hardest part of working for family, work hours are optional. Oh yeah, no, 100%, Kayan, 100%. Same with working for yourself. Work hours are optional. Working for yourself, it's like biohacking your brain to make money. Like, that sounds weird, but when you're working for someone else, the difference between you staying in the office for a little bit of overtime, because, you know, in many cases it's unpaid, let's be perfectly honest. You stay an extra 20 minutes, it's uncommon for you to get that back. Unless you work somewhere which is cool with flexi time, then, you know, it's a little bit different. But realistically speaking, you work harder, you don't get more pay. And that's just the way that goes. Maybe you get a promotion down the line, but you're probably not really getting an equitable return on your extra productivity. When you work for yourself, the more work you do, the more money you make, potentially. I mean, you know, there's always the potential, but that's the difference, is that there is the potential there. So suddenly stopping work is very hard to do. And it's even worse if you work in your house. If your house is your office, oh, that is a rough time. Rough time. All right, I think it is time for a tea break, though, everyone. So I've laid out my plans. We've got the plan nailed down. So all I need to do now is set up the actual logic behind this. And that shouldn't be terribly difficult, he says, hopeful. Full of hope. Hopes and dreams. But okay, I'm gonna have a couple of nests to clean up when I come back. Oh wow, they are getting really close. I kind of need to go down there and clean up those nests, if I'm perfectly honest, as well. So, plan after the tea break, because we are gonna have to have one. I need to be much better about that. Also, I can sneakily squirrel off and ice my jaw. Not so sneaky now. I've told you I'm going to do it. Damn it. But when we come back, I'm going to quickly clean up some of the biter bases. Also, remind me to go and drop off some ammo at the southern wall. We need to keep the defenses primed. And for now, I'm just going to park over at the oil depot just so that my construction bots will hopefully build the stuff that needs to be built over here. Overtime is mandatory in the US. You work over, you get time and a half. That is absolutely not true. I love that you believe that, but I'm afraid that you are a victim of perfect world thinking right now. The law says it should work this way, thus it does, is a beautiful dream. And I love you for believing that, for thinking that way. But the reality is not that. I get paid time and a half. Okay, well, you get paid time and a half. Well done, you. But saying this is this way for me, and thus it is that way for everyone, is a surefire way to be ignorant of other people's plights. trust me, if I thought that everyone else's life was a certain way just because my life is that way, then no one would have any issues with their parents. Everyone would have an amazing relationship with their siblings, and they would also have a bunch of ferrets to bury their face into whenever they were feeling a little bit low energy and needed a bit of a pick-me-up. But that just isn't the case. Most people don't have ferrets that they can use as emotional support animals, and that is possibly the worst of all the things I listed, the worst crime. And the family stuff, it's nice if you got it. You can live with it if you don't, but not having ferrets, literally, some places ban them. No, the world is a terrible place. Terrible place, and I feel it deep in my bones. Every day I wake up, I think, all those people can't have ferrets. And then I go and hug mine extra hard. Don't worry, though. They're wriggly and flexible. Hugging them hard doesn't hurt. Some of us have to use cats. You have my sympathy. For even saying that, I promise you, Tilly is going to wake me up in the middle of the night by drooling in my ears. She can't understand human language, but she'll know that I said something like that. Her revenge will be absolute. Anyway, tea break time. But seriously, don't just say things like, it works this way for me, so it must work that way for everyone. That's not how the world works, my dudes. Anyway, time for us to step away. We've improved the defenses here a tiny bit. There's still plenty of ammo here, so I'm not too worried about that. But we do need to deliver ammo to the southern area. Remind me when I get back, chat. It is all on you. Aavak, we the denizens of the hellish goblinscape called Chet have decided not to remind you about the ammo in the name of glorious chaos. All hail Zinch. Noted. Then I suppose I wasn't reminded about the ammo, and therefore don't know that I need to go and take care of that. Okay, so I'm gonna lay something on you that is in your best interest to remind me for, okay? I have been informed by Lady Shelob that if I don't take my recommended dose of tea breaks, that is 1 every 2 hours, give or take, 15 minutes, then I'm just going to have to stop streaming early. That I'm not allowed to stream for 16 hours if I don't have my prescribed amount of tea. So it is down to you to remind me. 2 hours from now, I need a tea break. If I don't get one, if I become obsessed, if I become completely consumed by circuitry or trains, well, then the stream's just going to end that much sooner. The factory will have to stop growing if I don't get my tea breaks. And it's down to you, chat. You're going to have to remind me. But we do remind you. You're going to have to remind me even harder. What if we get you a hamster bottle filled with tea? Are we thinking like some sort of like beer hat tea situation? No. Refuse. Also, thank you very much, Nexus Tremian, for 37 months. And heyo, Bentham. How you doing, buddy? Let's get a shout out for Bentham. I've always got to remind myself I need to type the name Mangled Pork, not Bentham. It's hard. But in addition to this, Diolch yn fawr iawn to Anubis TSN and Manic Manford, just in case I missed calling you out. Thank you very much indeed. Right, okay, so things down here are, they're going. Productivity on these oil wells is garbage, despite having productivity modules in them. Not great. Alright, so I need to go and clear out some biters. That was the first job on my return. These two at the very least. I'll do a quick skim around here, clear out those 2 biter nests, and then come back down. Though, in terms of power, how are we doing over... let's look at 1 hour. Okay, it's looking a bit better. It is looking better as we add more and more solar panels to the setup. We're needing less and less steam now, and as a consequence, we're burning through our coal reserves and our Our fuel far slower. Good times. Also, that is that. Okay, I see what I did there. I see what I did and why it was done. We're gonna need something probably around here. There we go. Drops down. That'll keep things flowing. Because that coal was never going to go anywhere and it was never going to get loaded. Right, so. Hello, Sheelab. The fuzzers are in the room. If you hear any crazy duking and things falling over and being crashed into, understand that the ferrets are having a great time. And that's just how they decide to express it. By crashing into all of the things. Ferrets have two modes. They're either yawny and cuddly, or only two modes. There is no in-between mode. They gear shift instantly. Hello, Fina. Thank you very much for the kiss. Turn off this Factorio stuff and give us noodles! Sadly, I do not have the required hardware for that. No noodles. Only stories of noodles. You're just going to have to content yourselves with that. However, if this is cruel, then I can quit it with the stories of the noodles. There we go. Let's continue on. We'll clear out a couple more of these nests. No noodles, only spaghetti. I really do need to get a new webcam. But it feels like I'm kind of guilty of the whole Vimes boot theory kind of thing. It's like, oh, I'm not going to get a cheap, it'll do for now webcam. I would rather wait until I've had time to properly research what a good webcam is and then purchase that. Right, clear you out, then these two. Maybe this one. It's starting to get close enough that I might care about it. Maybe. Is it possible to have zero pollution in the game? I'm not actually sure if it is possible to have zero pollution. I think you can have it at such a low level that for all intents and purposes, it's not really doing anything. But I don't think you can reduce it to zero, no. Could be wrong about that, though. I am more dangerous to myself with these tank shells than I am to the enemy. You can turn off pollution, I guess. Yeah, miners and factories always make some pollution. I understand the pollution in the sense of Factorio isn't just ground, like, you know, actual toxins leaching into the ground. It's also noise pollution. Your radar produces pollution. Damn those polluting radio waves. But you can do very low pollution bases to the point that it's not going to aggravate the biters. Especially if you take pollution reducing measures like build your bases in forests so that the forest itself will have a native like pollution absorption level sufficient to consume all pollution that you're generating. Do not build your base in a desert if you do not wish pollution. Aavak is taking pollution reducing measures right now, eliminating those I'm not really reducing my pollution, though, am I? I'm reducing the people who complain about my pollution. These are two different things, though they ultimately result in the same outcome. I don't have to worry. But they are not the same. And it's important that we make that distinction. We must be precise. There we go. You know, if I stopped using tank shells like machine gun bullets, I'd probably have a lot more resources. Probably. Not guaranteed, though. There we go. Let's get away from all of the acid spit. 2 more nests to go. Then I kind of feel I do need to go down here and clear that out, because I'm basically just throwing resources away on bullets down there. Also, how many... we've got enough shells for Tonk. Tonk has shells. It's fine. Aavak is currently booting those pesky environmentalists off his lawn. I like environmentalists, though. Down with climate change. Except when it's me doing it. I do it for good reasons. And the reason being, me. I am a good enough reason for climate change. But anyone else, that's just irresponsible and wrong. How dare. Wait, I basically just described pretty much everyone who is a climate change denier. It's fine, I need it. I do good stuff with my pollution. Yeah. Tell that to the people who are going to be alive in 500 years who are having to deal with all the shenanigans as a result of your pollution, Lado. Tell you what, if you can use some sort of quantum tunnel to email them in the future and ask them if they're okay with it, then I would be okay with you doing it. How about that? That seems fair to me. If you get a written waiver from the future saying it's fine, no problems, we can deal with it, we've got the technology, then you may pollute. But only then. And if you can't send a message to the future, well, this is some good motivation for you to develop the technology so you can. See? This is the right way of doing it. Give the scientists a reason to invent time travel. You can't just expect them to do it for no practical gain. They've got to see some tangible returns to make it worth their time. Poor bot, come back. Gotta get rid of this, and you, please. I haven't gotten rid of it yet. Please get rid of that. Okay, I need to get out of here. I refuse to lose tank. I lost many cars, but I will not lose tank. That would be very wrong. I've got a ferret on my foot. I'm very interested in what I'm doing. Writes a letter and buries it in a time capsule. Fair enough. Ferret foot. That sounds like some sort of oldie worldy like malady, like I don't know, scullery maid's knee or something. What would ferret foot be? Right, okay. Mischief managed. Right. Sudden growth of hair across the... No, that's hobbit foot. What was that? See that? A sudden liquefaction of the bones in your foot. That would be ferret foot. My tendons are now liquid. Greg's in exactly. Sharing the same brain cell, apparently. Right. I am going to, want to top up all of the things in the tank. To allow some requests to go through. I need many things. I have got things on the way. And following that, yeah, I'm just going to hang tight for a moment, let the tank stock up. Yeah, following that, we really do need to bring down some proper ammo down here. Do I need more? We got loads of repair packs, that's not an issue. What's my private ammo like? Oh, I've got enough to drop off, sure. Uh, 104 on the way. 6 more solid fuel on the way, that's fine. Yeah, the Earth's... people talking in chat about, scientists can now remove CO2 from the atmosphere. It's going to be fine. I know. I don't... would you trust humanity with that kind of power? The Earth's atmosphere is a finely balanced machine, which we are currently in the process of unbalancing. However, I feel that having any magic powder that they can just disperse to the air will just suck up, you know, enormous quantities of CO2. That is a super weapon. Those are not people working for your benefit, Chad. Those are supervillains in disguise. This is the plot for some future Pixar movie. Hashtag Snow. Okay, yeah, we've gone a little bit more grimdark than the Pixar movie. We've gone straight past some plucky young adult adventure, coming of age story with possibly anthropomorphic and or robot pals along for the ride, fixing the planet. Straight to the thing I hate about myself is that I know what babies taste like. It's like, okay. Oh, what was it? No, I know what people taste like, and I know that babies taste best. Yeah, no, okay. Chat is going straight down the grimdark route. I can respect it. I can respect it, definitely. And down here. I'm thinking that honestly what we need in this is not the power poles there, but actually having more substations in there. Right, we will come back up this way shortly to manage these and also to manage the new train station, and then we'll set up a proper copper train station. But first, need to go and do a little bit of tidying up down along South Wall. Oh, we're going to need to go down through the gates over here. I'll keep the ammo on me for now, just in case worst thing happens and Tonk is lost and I have to walk my way back. Alright. Time for culling. This has been on the cards for a little while. Got to thin the herd a bit. Go for this one next. Try and get through that. Right, now we can thin out the ones following me. Let out the repair drones. That's one. I think we'll take this one out and then this one out. I mean, right down here, we're not actually producing that much pollution because this mine doesn't work. Doesn't mine very much. Like, it's a very infrequent pull on stone. But when it does gear up, it does a lot of mining because it takes an entire train's worth of stone away, which is an enormous amount, by the way. There we go. Right, now there won't be any more warrior bugs to worry about. So I can finish the worms off a little bit more leisurely. There we go. You've no idea how hard it is. You should not laugh when you've got a ferret trying to make their way up your trouser leg. Right. Got one more to clear. Then we'll drop off some more ammo down here and we'll move on then. Leg noodles! Indeed. Right. And that should be good enough. You're unlikely to have to worry about this area for a little while now. I should honestly make some more shields. I really should. I should so much that I should probably put that into the to-do list, but we won't for now. There we go. That should keep that area nice and safe. Fancy fedoras, why? You make me feel bad. Aavak has finished putting the uppity locals back in their place. My lord. Just because I come from Britain doesn't mean I ascribe to all of the traditions. Right. We're not going to claim the South Copper now. Okay, we're back down to not having a lot of fuel there, sadly. I think I might actually just leave Tonk here for now. I'll pick Tonk up in a bit. Air is so lucky. Why did she love doing blanket rides? It's usually my job. They still love blanket rides. Alright, okay. So, with that done, we have got some issues in that direction, but nothing we need to worry about directly. So, first and foremost, I would like to... Well, honestly, as far as loading goes, this is fine. There's no reason to change this loading pattern. The unloading pattern made a lot more sense, but this one, because it's all load balanced anyway, it really doesn't matter. I could have a single belt going the full circle if I wanted to. It wouldn't be an issue. But what I do need is a way of calculating some stuff. So, presently, what we're doing is... This is saying how many trains worth of cargo I have here. I would like to change this and... Well, first and foremost, I would like to calculate what a train's cargo is programmatically. Yeah. So I'm going to copy over some of the stuff we've got down here that does that for us. So this is how many chests there are and the amount of storage in each chest. This then works out the total amount of storage per chest. This then gets fed forward and it works out what the stack size. Ooh. Oh no, the stack size is down there. So I more or less all of this calculates how much a single train can hold and how much all of the chests can hold. Now I don't need to calculate how much the chests can hold because I'm just taking the amount that is available. So really it's just this part that I need. The amount of cargo wagons, the amount of in fact maybe I should you know, I could parameterize that. No, there's no point in parameterizing that because a station will dictate how many locations can be unloaded from. So that's kind of in that. So this is fine. So 8 and 40. 8 times 40, that's how many slots a single cargo wagon has. This works out what the stack size of the item is. Then this multiplies the amount of cargo, the amount of cargo slots with the stack size of the item to give me that. This part is what I would like to grab. So I'm going to yoink that. Great blueprint. We'll be using a couple of these, I should imagine. For now, I would just need that here, I guess. Where did I place it over here? That is over by 1. Okay. So that's where I place it. You know what? Let me just go and grab this whole setup and then I'll remove the stuff I don't need because I kind of like the way I've got all of this positioned. And if I can make this uniform, I would appreciate that. So that will work. Let's plonk that all down. Except that I don't want to take the station, actually. I'm not sure if this would copy that over, but we'll take the tile right up to the station. Yeah. That should be about right. Now you can remove everything that shouldn't be there. Here we go. So, first and foremost, need to disconnect this radar. Also, don't need these, like I said. That's unnecessary for us. Because we only care about how much is being stowed. So, remove that as well. This is the loading. And I kind of like the idea of having that up here as well. So. Actually, no, that's fine. Because this way, these are not kind of going all over the place. Yeah, I think this is okay. I'm going to want to take the current contents here and bring it across to... Let's have a look. This is the amount of cargo on the train. I'm going to want to work out how much... If the amount of cargo is less than... or equal to, or rather, if iron is greater than, yeah. You know what? I'm just going to take up all of these, so I'm working with a blank slate. I think that's probably wise. So I want a decider combinator that is checking if the amount of iron here, and this is going to be something that can be parameterized, is greater than or equal to the... Oh, actually. No, we need one new constant combinator, and that is going to be maximum trains, M. And in this instance, we will set that as currently as 1. So M1. Yeah, that will work quite nicely. I now want... I'm trying to find the best way to stack all this together. Effectively, I want to take... M is the maximum stack, and if I've got more than that, then I want to output that instead. Bye-bye. Okay. Fuzzers are off. So what I'm going to place here is... We will bring this in on the green wire for now. If L, I guess, is greater than M, then output M. I wonder if I could output M as L. Because effectively I need an opposite. If L is not this, then it should just go through as is. If L is less than or equal to, then... I wonder how I would do that. C1125 says if M is greater than L. L is basically going to be the number of trains that I can fit. So let me actually get that value first. So this will be L. And this is going to be the amount of iron divided by cargo. And then output L. That'll be the potential train limit. I am likely going to have to reach this. Yeah, I can't reach that there, so I'm going to have to pop that one there for the sake of reaching it across. And this one comes through on red. So there we go. It's currently saying that there's no amount of trains available right now. Which makes sense. However, what I would like to do is say that, well, in the instance that the amount of trains that I've got is greater than the maximum amount of trains I will allow, then output... Oh. Will that work? Let's momentarily break the system and introduce a we're going to just say that the amount of available iron is high. Let's say we've got, I don't know, let's say 17,000. What does that say? Right, so I've got 70,000. L is 1. It's currently... not outputting anything. That's fine. However, if this were now, let's say, 60,000. L is 3, which is higher than M, but... yeah. Okay, so it can't switch them. That's a shame. That's a shame. Okay. So, effectively, what I would want to do is, if the signal is above M, then I effectively want to just replace the signal with M. But how do I then, like, how do I go about it? I guess I could brute force it by saying, hey, if the signal is not greater than, just output whatever L was, otherwise output whatever M is. That will work. It's ungainly and inelegant, but it will work. It is almost certainly a better way to do this, though. Also, at this point, it makes sense for me to pop all of these signals onto the same thing. If L is less than M, then output L. So right now that's putting out M. This would put out L. When L is lower than M, output yay. When L is higher than M, output nom. When L is null, output face desk. Fair enough, Sir Alisol. Too many M's and L's, in my opinion. What? Yeah, I can use the arithmetic to switch colors. That's not a problem. Effectively, what I'm going to do here is say that no matter what is coming through here, for each times by 1 and output L. There should only ever be one signal coming from this. Right now, it's showing M equals 1, because this is if L is greater than, whereas this one should be is less than or equal to, which will take care of the other two things. So now let's make it exactly 1, oh, well, not exactly, but 17k, not 617k with extra zeros. There we are. That's not outputting anything. This is, that will do. And if I made this exact, so 32k, just to test it, that should still be outputting. Ah. Did I write that wrong? Apparently I have. That should give me 2, which it is. If... oh, it's because I've set that to 1. My bad. Let's set this up to 2. Yeah. Yeah. That all works. So it'll set the amount to whatever the limit is, and I can parameterize that limit. So the train limit can be set there with M. Or I could even change that to be a train. That might be better for me, because that'll tell me how many trains can be here rather than M's and L's and stuff. Because realistically, I want L to be the number that is taking that is managing that. I think this is actually going to be a little bit better, yeah. And this literally does not care what it's getting. It's just counting, turning that into an L, and then that gets fed to the station to say how many people can go in. Right, so I can either move all of this down to this side to make it look a little bit more elegant, but that would require the inclusion of an extra power pole, which isn't the worst thing in the universe, to be certain, but it's also not the best thing in the universe. Especially because it wouldn't quite fit with the way the state, because the station takes up so much bloody room. Unfortunately. That being said, I could move this over a little bit. So how about I grab you and... No, that wouldn't fit. Still wouldn't fit. Damn. I'd need to bump all of that back, unfortunately. Never mind. Guess that's just going to have to live there. The alternative is I could put it over on this side, which isn't the worst thing in the universe. Or tuck that one down. No, that doesn't please me. I could simply move all of this back by one. I think I will, actually. We will grab all of this, and I'm going to simply move it back. There is no particular reason why I have to have this perfectly arrayed. There we go. You two can go. This one can now live there. And that just needs these to be brought over. Actually, I'll use green there instead. That way I keep the signals looking a little bit tidier. There we go. And then this followed by these three. Also, that means this can now reach there without having to go through the power pole. I don't particularly like it when they do that. So that actually works for me. And then hopefully this will move correctly. We will see. Sky changes. Yes. Tunk. Right, so this requires to know what L is. That requires the same thing. Both of them require this. So I can bring that along on the green circuit to there. And I can bring this along the green circuit to there. We're now bringing in everything I want. Oh. If L is... Oh, wait a second. That's actually outputting it, isn't it? No, it's not. Oh, thank goodness. I was about to say, if this is going to output, if the number, if L is less than locomotive, like if I did this instead, then that would break the system. But because it's only outputting whatever L is currently nothing, so that doesn't matter. Correct. And then this will output the amount of trains that are allowed at this station. Right now, this now functions. So I can hook that up happily enough. Are there any particular things going between these two? No. Right, so let's get rid of that. And I'll just pop it on the red. So, Train limit should be set to 0. It's fine. Priority. I could set priority based on how full this station is. Does that matter to me? Chat, is there a conceivable reason why I would want to unload the fullest station first? All that is going to do is mean that my miners are all working all the time and they never shut off, even if I don't need that resource. What this does, Road Train, is this allows me to programmatically set the maximum amount. Like when I parameterize this blueprint, I can tell it how many trains are allowed, because I'm only going to blueprint the station, not the stacker. So the stacker might be variable. So now the maximum train limit that this station is allowed to call for is parameterized, as is what this station delivers. That is also now parameterized, and it is programmatically working out all of the amounts that a train can carry of whatever it's being set up with. I'm not having to do any of that with hard code. This is as dynamic of a train station as I can make it. Maybe priority for the closest station to the smelters for the well, I would want it to be parameterized. So, for example, priority for the drop-off stations is whichever station has the less. So effectively, the more trains worth of delivery a drop-off station can take, the higher its priority in the queue. The less trains load, which you could think of it the other way around, of the more trains worth of a product the station can hold currently, the less it currently has. The less trains worth it could offload at that station, the more its chests are already full. So it sets priority based on where it needs it most, where it's going to run out soonest, effectively. Well, you know, that part is a little bit more nebulous, but that's what I'm aiming for. But with the loading stations, I don't really think it matters, does it? Unless I want to say the more it has, I could set that. I could absolutely set that. Not that it's a good reason, but a reason might be that if a full station is destroyed, it's more painful than a... Oh. Nika, that's actually a really solid suggestion there. I like it. We'll roll with that. That is good enough for me. I really like that idea. So let's pop that in there. I'm going to send this wire down on green. Is there any reason why I'm doing that? No. Oh, actually, it stops that wire combining. So I'm going to take whatever L is, add 0 to it, and output P. So the more trains worth, even though I might be restricting the amount of trains that are allowed to be sent here because of stacker concerns, this will still tell me how many trains how many trains worth of product this station is storing, regardless of what the maximum train limit is. So that will output P, and then I simply hook that up to the station. So now, priority is currently nothing. Output signal of 1. Should that... Oh, right, that's because I've got to set the priority. There we go. So, very low priority right now. Only 1 train's worth can be collected. That was a really good idea. That was a really good idea. Okay, so now with this, I need to read the train count. This is a very simple one. I simply take an arithmetic combinator. I want to know how many trains are on their way. I'm going to need 2, I think. There's the second one. Oh, these are not allowed to presently they're not allowed to offload unless that's... I was wondering why I was jumping back and forth. I'm not allowing the trains to offload unless a train is stopped here. That's why those weren't... that's why these weren't activating. Is it has to see that there is a train currently stopped at the station before that will... these inserters will trigger. Right, so that's fine. So I want this to go down here. I want to read what the current amount of trains is. Currently there is 1 train on the way. I want to add 0 to it. Output that as iron. And this will be parameterized. And then I want to multiply iron by -1 to give me the inverse. Output iron. And then that goes to the radar system, which should now be able to see that there is no request for iron, hopefully. Let's have a look. There is currently only a request for oil. Let's have a look at the station. Is it currently requesting iron? Yes. The drop-off station is currently requesting iron. This is now requesting iron as well because a train has left that station. Wait, is there... That should not be displaying anything. Do I have an iron, a train's worth of iron available? Shouldn't do. Yeah, 0, 0. So a station is requesting it. There is no station providing it. And that request is being seen. Okay, so there we are. That is our new logistics for the trains. Actually, yeah, you're quite right, road train. There is no particular reason. Yeah, take C, multiply by -1 and output it as iron. You're quite right. That should give me the inverse. So let's get rid of that. Thank you for catching that. That does simplify it. Nice. All right. There we go. That's our station. Now, I don't particularly need that there, do I? No, not if I move this along. So I'll pop that there instead. Yoink. So that is no longer necessary. It'll probably... Oh, no, there we are. Connected. Good, good, good. And... I think I'm always going to request a chain signal for the exit point on trains, because there is almost always going to be a time when that is going to be a junction. And even if there's not, I'm fine with that. Right, okay, so this will now replace our blueprint. I'm happy with what we've got. Finally. That being said, do I want to change the way the lights work? I do. Because the other station has them in these locations. That is where we're going to play. Actually, you know what? Since these... no, it has them where the lights exist where I have the underground belts going. So, I'll emulate that here. Okay. Can't put them there. Scallywags. Okay, I guess they are going in the middle then. Just to keep this place as uniform compared to the offloading stations as possible. You two shouldn't be trying to unload there. Huh. Train should not be showing that. They should not be attempting to unload. Interesting. Oh well. I'm not going to worry over much about it. I still vote for status-based light colors. I guess I could do that, but that's not strictly necessary right now, so I'm going to say no. But I do like the idea. I do like the idea. So we will do that in the future, just not this right now. I actually dislike that is immediately a turn. Let's smarten this up a little bit, shall we?